Well, hi, thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it. Enjoyed the series. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. I think since X-Files. I was thinking about it and laughing because I met you like 20 plus years ago at your book tour. It was a long, long time ago. But anyway, so this show, I was surprised to find out that you sort of played the straight guy and not aren't, doing the comedy. Not that you haven't done drama. But which do you find more difficult? Kind of doing the emotional stuff or, comedic timing?
Well, emotional stuff used to be really difficult for me because I wasn't a big crier. Now I can cry at the drop of a hat. It's weird. You get more life experience, more things happen to you. Comedy is challenging. I wouldn't say that it's hard. Comedy is easy if it's good writing. You know, if it's bad writing or not funny, you're never going to make it funny just because you cast a funny person. So it's all writing.
Right.
Writing is everything now, and I've learned that because early TV was crappy writing. It was crappy everything. Knots Landing was my first TV, and I'm here to tell you that was crappy. It was a crappy show. Sorry, folks.
That's okay. Did you find anything challenging though? Because you say that you've gotten better at that, but was there anything that you did still find challenging about this role?
TV is challenging. The pace of TV is brutal. They're long, thankless hours, in an airless box, and you just got to make the best of it because they got to get through so much material. It just takes a while to get all that. 8 episodes actually adds up to a lot of filming because TV is not TV anymore. This looks like a feature. So I was sitting around one day going, why is it taking so long to do this? And I went to look at the amount of days they did to do an episode. Back in my era of Hercules and Xena as a director, I had 7 days to shoot an episode. They have at least 14 days on this to film an episode. They have twice as long. I think back to the Hercules days. I'm like, man, if I had 14 days, I could have made a movie out of that. So TV has gotten a lot better, and I'm grateful for it.
Since you have done it so long though, do you still find that you learn stuff like as an actor yourself? I mean, other than that you take more time now. Do you still feel like you learn new things each time you do something?
You learn everything. Yeah, yeah. You can't ever say that I know it all. There's new tricks, new shortcuts. Um, I have dirty little tricks. I have clever little tricks. If you trigger words, if you can't remember a name or something, of where to put it cleverly on a set. Those are crutches, but mostly I rely on fundamentals. I like to learn my lines and be on time.
What was it about this character that attracted you to it?
He talks to teenagers like they're teenagers, like they're a person. Cops and citizens have had problems over the years, and I like portraying a cop that I want. I want him as my small town chief. I want that guy. You can come up to him, tell him your problems. He wouldn't blow you off. He'd listen to you. He might come to your house, talk to your mom, make sure everything's okay. I mean, that's old time police work. And I work with a lot of police during the show Burn Notice. 7 seasons, we worked with some of the same guys. There was a guy named Taser Tom that we got to know. They called him Taser Tom because he loved to tase guys. But
Well, he didn't taser you guys, you're
yeah,
okay.
as long as every day he'd go, come on, Bruce, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me tase you. I'm like, Tom, not going to happen, man. But we learned to get to know them as people. They have fears. They have crises in their life. Over 7 years, we watched Tom go through all kinds of stuff. And so it's important to not do the cliche. There's too much cliche writing out there of the cop with the cigarette and drinking the beer and smacking his wife around. I mean, that's a bore. And I'm sure there's cops who are like that, but we don't need them all the time. So things like that get my attention because it's a horror project. So I ask a few more questions.
What you talk about horror, you just made me think about it. I think back to Evil Dead, that vine rape scene freaked the heck out of me. What are you scared of? Like, is there anything in horror that scares you?
I'm scared of ignorance. That's the only thing I'm scared of. I'm not scared of demons. I'm not worried about Satan. Uh, I believe in UFOs because I think I saw one. Um, but I don't know. I try and approach life pretty rationally. I hate disinformation. That's what's amazing about this show. it's what disinformation was like in the 80s, where it's gossip. There wasn't Twitter, there wasn't all the social medias. So it was good old-fashioned gossip, phone calls, rumor, innuendo. So I thought it was a good premise that they created for the show. And the 80s in a small town Michigan, they're not ready for a satanic panic. So the way they put it there at that time period is good. That was smart.
So what was your prep like for this then? Because obviously you've done a lot of cop stuff, but did you do any specific preparation for this in that sense?
Yeah, I had to get used to driving crappy 80s cars that are 30 years old. I mean, to keep them running during takes is like and because I got my Screen Actors Guild card doing a training film for the K car, the Chrysler K car, an 80s car, which was an absolute piece of garbage. So that's the only frustration of shooting something that's period, is they were crappy back then, 80s cars. So to deal with them now is even worse. But it's fun, walkie-talkies, telephones, ashtrays, pen and pencil, a lot of knocking on doors. I like the old school stuff.
Yeah,
because the first Evil Dead was analog. There was nothing digital about it.
Yeah.
And it was fun to make one movie all the way through analog.
Yeah.
The hard way.
Now, the thinking about that, you went from doing something like that, very low budget, to now you've done Marvel films. I mean, you've been at the very top too. What's the craziness like of that now, having been at the complete opposite end of the spectrum? And did you ever think that, you would get there?
The most fun is watching crew members kiss Sam Raimi's ass now, because he's a big Hollywood director. And I went to come on the set to do just a small part in Oz the Great and Powerful, right? I play some guard. And Sam immediately starts with the trash talking. Wow, boy, that was a great take, for somebody else's movie. And I'd fire back, well, geez, they should have had a director for this movie, And the set went dead silent. And they're like, what is this actor, this day player, talking back to Sam Raimi? Because half of them didn't know who the hell I was.
Forever, so.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, it's so awesome to watch my buddy get his ass kissed. So, but it's no different. Sam said to me as an aside, he walked past me one time working on these movies, the Spider-Man movies. He goes, we're doing the same thing. Same thing as high school. I just have a lot more money. Yeah. That's it. Same gags, same everything.
Right. Quickly, I know we're almost out of time, but what's your favorite scene from Hysteria?
I don't have a favorite. That's for the pundits like you folks. But look, any well-written scene I'll take, because it's a joy to play a well-written scene, and a scene that's not well-written is a nightmare. So I'm very grateful to these writers, and if they do a season 2, can't wait to see what they're going to concoct.
I hope so. Was it hard working with a dog? I know they say kids and pets, and granted,
kids and dogs. No, it's true. Kids and dogs. It's tough. You have to just. Our phrase was MOD. Can we do it? Mit out dog. So we would get the shots we needed. It was a lovely dog, but the problem is the dog halfway through a take would start going and panting like uncontrollably. So what are you going to do? So we'd film it when we needed to, and we'd have it go back home when we didn't need it.
Well, you wouldn't know it anyway.
Good.
All right. Well, they told me 1 minute a while ago. It's been longer than that, but thank you. I appreciate your time. It was nice to get to talk to you again and see you again after all this time.
Thank you. I'll see you in a couple of decades.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.